Hello, my name's Terry Doherty. I'm the current chairman of Brightlingsea Regent Football Club. I've been in the position since 2006 and have been there for the last 16 years, apart from 1 year I had a break when Dave Girling was chairman. My job basically is to oversee the general running of the club from the club's the facility side all the way through to the play-in side. We have a youth section. We have other branches of the club like the walk-in football, the ladies football, as well as the senior men's football, which is played here. Basically, really, I'm just a small cog in the machine. The machine itself is completely made up of volunteers throughout the whole club. Start going from the people who work on a match day here, all the way through to like secretaries, treasurers, membership secretaries, commercial managers, and then there's all the playing staff and the coaching staff for the senior teams, and also all the coaches and staff for the youth section. The youth section has its own secretary and its own treasurer, and as does the ladies football and the walking football.
My name's Alan Hornsby, and I look after hospitality, which entails looking after the referees, the assistant referees, and the visiting boardroom officials, i.e. chairmen, secretaries and directors. I first came up here around 1966. A friend of mine was on the committee at the time, and he asked me if I'd like to come up and help out. Well, the first thing I went to was a committee meeting, or the AGM, which is held down the railway, which is down the bottom end of the town. And them days, the AGM took 2 nights, which is unbelievable when you think about how we operate now. From then, I left for about 2 or 3 years, and I was playing for other teams in the area. I wasn't very good, but I just enjoyed my football. And I was invited back to look after the reserves trainer, which is them days with the bucket and sponge man. And I continued that for 20 or 30 years and ended up looking after the first team. And I went on a few courses to become a physiotherapist in the right that was at the time, and I enjoyed that very much so.
The club was formed here at North Road in 1928. The land was left in trust by a farmer, local farmer, Mr. Girling, I believe it was, and there was a small club here at the time. The dressing rooms, I think, were over by the main entrance in the car park, and then since then the club has evolved and got to the stage it is at now. I think the club started off as a junior football club, amateur football club, and I think it might have gone through, Alan will know better than this than me, it went through various name changes, I think, in the first 20 or 30 years, then established itself as Brightlingsea United Football Club, which played in the Essex Senior League, the Jewson League, which is the Eastern Counties League, for a while, and then in the Essex and Suffolk Border League.
Always on the committee for several years, and then when the 2 teams amalgamated, Brightlingsea United and Brightlingsea Regent, when they amalgamated together, a new group of people came in, and it was the right thing to do at the right time. And the people that came in took the club as the amalgamated club forward, and as you can see today, we are playing at a terrific standard of football for a town of our size, and the camaraderie on the pitch by the new manager and his coaches, and also off the pitch, we've got a good group of people that help run the club, are the volunteers. On match day, there's a match day team of about 16 people really. You don't feel like there's 16 at the time, but there is a number of people in and around the ground looking after different aspects of the ground for the game to be played. And off the pitch, after the game, we tend to get in the clubhouse afterwards and have a debrief by the chairman. So we all sit round the table and talk a sensible conversation till about 2 hours later, and then it starts to get a bit gibberish, and that usually ends up with quite a good afternoon, a good evening, and a nice toddle home. Wake up next morning thinking the day went well.
I got involved here in 2005-2006 season. I came from a youth set-up club which was called Regent Rangers. We then merged with what was Brightlingsea United, and we became Brightlingsea Regent Football Club in 2006. At that time the club were I think in Division 3 of the Essex and Suffolk Border League, we had a change of manager. Alan Long was the manager at the time with Neil Turner, and then they stepped down. Two new guys came in, James Webster and Mark Gridley. They took over the running of the side, got promoted from the Border League Div 3 into Div 2, then into the Premier Division of the Border League, and then out of the Border League into the Eastern Counties League, which was Step 6 or senior football. Senior football starts at Step 7 and goes all the way through to Step 1. Step 1 being the National League, and the National League is the one league below the Professional Football League, the English Football League. So since then, 2006, we worked our way up. In 2011, we got to the Eastern Counties League, and then from 2011 till now, till present, we had another 3 promotions, and we now play at Step 3, which is the Isthmian League, which has been going for, blimey, 100 odd years. I think the Isthmian League's quite a long time. The Isthmian League, Premier Division we're in now, that covers all of the South East, pretty much all of East Anglia, all the way down as far as Margate and Worthing, and Bognor Regis on the south coast, with all the teams in, all the big towns in between. We've been in this league now for, I think it'll be our 5th season coming up, but the last 2 seasons have obviously been interrupted by the COVID pandemic, unfortunately. So we start this season in August, and we start again in the Isthmian League Premier Division. It's a very, very high division, very tough division. I think I'm right in saying that we're probably the smallest town in the division, with the smallest population. Some of the clubs, for instance, like Enfield Town, there's a borough of about 250,000, 250,000 people. Brightlingsea about 9,000, and obviously some of the other towns like Margate, Folkestone, big places, big towns with big populations. So the club's really punched above its weight, and still is punching above its weight at this level.
Now we're playing at this level, not many players leave. There is occasional 1 or 2 go. We did have a lad, he wasn't poached, but he was looked at by Millwall, and they took him for trial. Then after a little while they sent him back, and they asked him to go back again. That went on 2 or 3 times, and in the end he went and signed for Millwall, and he played there for a couple of seasons. And then I think he was only a young lad at the time, 18, 19 at the time, so that was a feather in our cap as well as a feather in his cap, because we do have skates come down from other clubs in the pro game, in the lower levels, like Colchester United or possibly Dagenham and Redbridge, teams like that send coaches down to look at our players. So it's a feather in our cap. It's a feather in the youth setup as well, because that inspires our young players to play even better and take notice of their coaches to come up and get up here to play on here, because sometimes the youngsters play on this pitch, which gives them an incentive instead of playing over the park. It's over the road there. It gives them an incentive to think, I want to play up there, I want to play up there. Look at the facilities. So it all works out. So it's all there for a reason. We're there for a reason, and hopefully the reason's the right one.
When I first started here at the club, it was free to come in. The ground wasn't enclosed then. The car park, you could park your car up, sit in your car and watch the game over the fence or over the bars. And since then, obviously, we've progressed, we've got promoted, and then we have to charge now. It's not our decision to charge. We're told by the league and the FA that each high step you go up, there's a minimum fee you have to charge. I think the minimum fee for our league we're in now is £10, which we have to charge. This year, I think last season we charged £11 per person to get in. Concessions was under 12s, and obviously there's concessions for senior citizens, which is about normally half that price. We sell season tickets and things like that, which is obviously works out a lot cheaper that way. I think a season ticket this season will work out about £7.50 a game roughly, which is a pretty good deal really. What we've had to do because of COVID last year, we sold season tickets last year. We've had to carry those over for this year because I think we only got to about 5 home games last year. So we've carried all that over basically for this season. And what it does mean is though it's a little bit of a loss of revenue for this year because we've had to honour those tickets, which is only fair. So the support's going to be really important for us, in the next couple of years really. Hopefully people will feel safe enough to come here. with the pandemic and everything else, and they'll feel safe to come. We've made the environment as safe as we can, and hopefully they come up here and have an enjoyable afternoon or an evening.
From a social point of view, it's a lovely club. For family as well, you can come up here with your sons to watch a game of football. One advantage we have up here, being a non-league club, is you can come outside with your beer, sit in the stand and watch the game. And when you finish your beer, you know, take the plastic container back to the clubhouse, or you can just put it in one of the recycling bins which we have dotted around the ground. Parking problems, no problems at all. You come in the car park by the main gate, a parking officer will show you where to park, how to park, so you can get out easier. And there's another car parking space over the other side of the pitch. We have a little snack bar at the end of the club building, which serves crisps, hot dogs, burgers, things like that, chips for the kids as well. And there's also coffees, teas for the grown-ups if they're driving. So from that point of view, it's a lovely club. It's a family club. It's a family welcoming club. And the more families we get up there, especially with the youngsters, because what we want to see is the youngsters enjoy themselves up here on a Saturday afternoon along with us.
Just like to add that as regards volunteers here at the club, that if anybody's at a loose end, if anybody's new to the town and they want to get involved in something, they're more than welcome to come to the club. As I've already said, on a match day we have quite a big staff here. There's loads of jobs for people to do. If you've got specialist skills, great, fantastic, in whether it be in commercial, raising funds and things like that, or if you just want to come along and man the gate or help look after the pitch or anything like that. If you're at a loose end, you're in Brightlingsea or in the local area, feel free to come down. You know, we'd love to see you, and the more hands make light work, obviously, here at the club. It's a very friendly setup, it's a very friendly staff, you'll be welcome into the fold. And it's just a nice lot. Brightlingsea is quite fortunate, I think, in a way that we've got a lot of clubs for a small town, various sports and swimming and sailing, and there's loads and loads of clubs and loads of things for people to do in Brightlingsea, which is lovely. But if they want to come and get involved in the club, please feel free. They can contact us direct or look on our website, Brightlingsea Regent FC, or they can go on Twitter or Facebook and contact us on there. But if they're at a loose end and they want something to do of a weekend or of an evening, get in touch and we'll be more than glad to see you. Where they serve coffees, teas, burgers, hot dogs, chips and things like that. Right.
Yeah. From a family point of view, it's a lovely club. Oh no, you won't believe that, would you?
And your mum's called it you right there.
Yeah.